That's the way to start a video. When I hear certain sounds that remind me of certain things I've seen, such as one of my favorite, if not the best, one of the best made for TV movies ever, which starts with that sound, the movie The Stand. Yes, of course, The Stand by Stephen King, 1993, which of course the sound of a buzzer at a chemical spill of some kind at a facility somewhere in the States, middle of nowhere, whatever, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, hey, what's happening in Elton McFall here? It's a fantastic summer evening here, and you know, when you're poor like me, at least you can be creative and think of, you know, places to go. And I've already done a walking video here on this part of Notre-Dame. Right, we're pretty much downtown right now, south of the village, and we're of course just an Audi going fast. And yeah, we're just west of my place in Hochelaga, and man, I think this is the most amount of U-Haul trucks I've ever seen in one place. Frankly, it's really because why is that? Because today is the 5th of July. Moving day, of course, is the 1st of July, unless you've been in a coma for 30 years. And the lighting, of course, as usual, is not as usual, but since this is a really you know, spur of the moment walking video, I didn't really plan this at all, and I brought the GoPro and I said I feel like filming, so here we are, here we go. And I don't know what those people are doing there, but this pretty much used to be the Molson brewery since the 1800s. And it was all sold. Oh no, sorry about that. No, this is U-Haul, excuse me. The old brewery is right here. The old brewery is right here. It's all been closed now for, well, I can't get them all, can I? Is it coming this way? Oh, wait a minute, maybe it is coming this way. Yeah, if you're not familiar with my videos, I've had a thing for many years. For more than 10 years, I film emergency vehicles responding anywhere I can be, and I got a camera. We'll record that. Looking towards the Jacques-Cartier bridge. So anyway, long story short, this company bailed out on this plant that's been basically one of the oldest in the world, oldest one in North America anyway, Molson being the, if not the oldest beer company in North America, one of them in the world. Well, not the world, because there's companies way older than that, even in Europe. Like one of my favorites, which is Stella Artois, for example, which dates back to like 15 something, you know. Look at that, all gone, man. All freaking gone. So anyway, that's it. The rent is too expensive here and everywhere, so they decided we're just going to relocate on the other side of the river, and in Longueuil, and that'll be just cheaper to do that. All this wiring here, this is all new here. Something going on over here, I guess. I can feel this is not going to be a short video. That's fine, that's good. Maybe the longer they are, the more I'll make. No, yeah, I used to think that. It used to be, a lot of people used to think that too. The longer video, more money I'll make. No. It's just the rich, doesn't matter if it's Trump or whoever, they of course have their hands in my pocket. And, excuse me, cat hair, so, or your pocket or whatever, you know, so. But at least I'm working harder to be more of a success. And again, that reminds me, if you're familiar with my artwork, please don't hesitate to drop me a line at eltonmcfall@hotmail.com. eltonmcfall@hotmail.com if you might like me to paint something for you. Prices start at $100 for a 9x12 acrylic painting, and then they go all the way up to like $300 or more for larger paintings. And yeah, I really sometime soon I gotta find a John somewhere, and there's one in the old Montreal we're going towards, but that's not close by right now, and I'm like I've been having to go for quite a while. Yeah, so this is all going to become condos basically. Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen that gate closed actually. Pass the Duchy on the left hand side. Pass the Duchy on the left hand side. Give me the Duchy, make me jump and shout. They play it on the radio. You know they play it on the stereo. Stereo. That's the old Radio-Canada building, which is basically Radio-Canada is French for CBC. Of course, I know a lot of you Americans even know that because it's, I guess the CBC is as Canadian as a friggin' beaver or poutine. So, not sure, like, I don't know where I'm gonna veer off here. Like I said, I gotta go use the facilities somewhere, so I don't want to do this like a typical going all the way Notre-Dame into the I don't know, I'm gonna try to cut out somewhere, maybe that staircase where that overpass coming up is, maybe that's what I'll do. It's a beautiful summer breeze right now, fantastic summer breeze, makes me feel fine. I'd like to have a word about influence, about being empowered. So what I'm telling you now, especially you younger folks or you lazy folks, how it's important to have friends that empower you in this sense, that makes you want to do things that are positive, that makes you feel good and other people feel good, such as what I do with selling ads, making paintings. Wow, look how much they've already done, holy cow. And you know, so forth and so forth. It's thanks to the friends I have, like my friend Scott at his channel Cold War Motors. That guy's working on cars. He wakes up in the morning, he works on cars all the way to the end, and he goes to bed. That's it. Every day he's working cars, classic cars, old cars, junkers. And then there's my friend Ed. He's always tinkering at something with his cars or making something. And so these people have an influence on you, or on me anyway, and they make you who you are, make you proud to be yourself. You know, I actually heard, I saw something recently, I don't know, it was a video somewhere, and somebody was talking about some sergeant or whatever was saying, you know, the first thing you could do in the day to have a sense of accomplishment, the simplest thing you could do is in the morning when you get up, is make your bed. So I've been doing that for a long time, but I usually make that at the second coffee, so basically an hour after I got up and have my first coffee. So it starts with little things like that, because I'm telling you, who your friends are will make up who you are. And I've been telling that for a while now to my friend Nick. You know, if you're going to hang out with losers and people they're sketchy and they're taking risks too much and they're not smart and, you know, blah blah, then that's, you know, that might fuck you up in the long term, basically, is what I'm saying. You know, and I had a lot of years I wasted. I wish I had been more aware, more mindful of my future, more, you gotta, you know, think better and basically work smarter and not harder, as the expression goes. You see, it's really conducive. Yeah, that's not too bright, not bright. Now you're gonna be on YouTube. That's really stupid, actually, really stupid. It's okay, you're young, it's okay. When I'm gonna break your freaking head off, though, that's your problem. Jesus, Murph. 3 of them on a scooter. It looks like a picture out of the National Geographic or a Life magazine. The other one's looking behind them like, yeah, like nobody's gonna notice that you're 3 on a scooter. That alone, the freaking scooter alone is practically a death trap. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here a moment. Anyway, you know what, like I said, I've done a walking video in this part of Notre-Dame probably at least 2 times. But why not? It's interesting. It's interesting. It's near my place. There's cars, there's trucks, there's people, there's tourists, there's old architecture. Molson brewery closed, and all this hullabaloo here, you know, for the yuppies, rich people, whatever. And now we're walking into the old Montreal sector, the old port, which is of course still part of the Ville Marie. Actually, where am I going? Why am I crossing here? I want to go down the steps over there somewhere. There's this ex-fire station over here. And the guy's got his tent up there. That's not surprising. Not too many people are going to bother him there, or her. Not just men that are homeless and camping, eh? This is just your typical design, just like the one that's in the old port too, that they also closed. I think it was like the first one. So if this is like the second one, that means it was probably built in the 1800s. Look at that. See, look at they actually even have the number of the trucks right there. Sorry, number of the station. See, plus de pompier, but of course now French has become more fancy and complicated like everything else, so it's not really a poste de pompier anymore. Now it's a caserne, because the caserne is French language for you. Sometimes it's annoying like that, you know, like how I said, the city pissed the taxpayer dollars away big time on the freaking ridiculousness of, instead of calling it Mont-Royal Street, it's now du Mont-Royal. If it's not Côte Vertu, it's de la Côte Vertu. It's fucking ridiculous, for Christ's sake. My God, look how many fucked up the roads there are in this city, and they're this foolishness with our tax dollars, man. And I will never change my opinion about that. I am a man of logic. Okay, I might be weird and this and that. I might not be poor. Maybe I should be working a job or part-time job. But man, I know what I'm talking about. A lot of people agree with me. People are usually, especially around my age or older. Oh wow, look at this. I saw one of these old tanks in one of my pictures on DeCarry on a truck on a flatbed, a lowboy that I took in like 2009. These must be all the tanks that must have been over. I imagine they must have been underneath over there for the brewery. I don't know, but I just remembered that there used to be a tunnel under here somewhere. Actually, I've seen before. Interesting. Look at that pile of dirt there. That's a lot of dirt, eh? Yeah, man. Oh, this summer breeze is fantastic. Like I said, I'm gonna veer off, make a make left here as quick as I can. 2 skips of a jump there. They usually have a bathroom in near that friggin' expensive boat yacht club there, coming up there as soon as you get on to De La Commune Street, which of course is the street that rides along the river or the canal, whatever. Oh man, that's major. That is all major. Most of that probably used to be train tracks too, because this is really where like the hub, like the main yard was started here, man. It's right in the port. Sir. So anyway, oh yeah, and another thing about talking about empowering, like I was just watching one of my favorite YouTubers, which of course is my friend Scott. There's also Derek from Vice Grip Garage. I mean, that guy's hugely popular, and it's like whether it's my friend Scott or Derek or Dalton from Pole Barn Garage. I mean, you know, Vice Grip, whatever. The thing is, they're all men of integrity, and when they have a determination to get something done, they do it, man. It gets done, even if it's really hard. You know, if you can get past the really hard part and see the finished side of it, then it's funny. I never thought I'd be able to talk like this. Goes to show you how much I'm changing my brain. So here we go. We're gonna go down right here, man. Right here. I think this is Rue Berry, or maybe not actually. No, Berry is down there. I remember many years ago, actually, it's funny. I remember many years ago, parked over here, kind of looked like it was by its lonesome, was a '66 Plymouth Sport Fury convertible. It was like that. What the hell's that color? Coral metallic. Oh shit, man. God, what the frig? God darn it. I can't imagine how much it must cost to live here, eh? Wow, jeez. I don't know, man. Like I said, I just keep saying I got no money, so not really out of pity, more like out of understanding. You know, a guy like me, if you're not familiar with my videos, I'm visually impaired. I've been like that since I was a kid. When you have a car, it makes up for a lot of your life. It opens doors. You know, I'm bipolar, I'm maybe autistic or Asperger, so, you know, just, but I'm more aware of myself than ever, and that's why I'm able to change myself more. You know, if you can't really change, I think, too much, if you're not fully aware of your, you know, your foibles, your setbacks, which we all have them, right? Nobody's perfect. Oh my God, I gotta go to the bathroom. I almost hesitated making this video just because I really gotta go so bad now. Of course, I had much water at home because it was so hot. Obviously, it gets really hot in my apartment. I generally really only run the AC when it's really windy now. I really only run the AC when like it gets around 25 or more, especially if it's humid, you know. Look at this. This area is unrecognizable to how it was earlier, right? Before, I should say. It's crazy. This, honestly, you know what the problem with a lot of people like me have with condos? It's, damn, I just fucking did it again. Who the fuck designed this? Jesus Christ, come on. Hey, I'm not afraid to admit I might be a cool guy, but I'm a freaking klutz, okay? So, but that's not my fault. That's poor design, poor engineering, or architecture, whatever you want to call it there. But anyway, the problem with all this stuff is that it could be anywhere in the world. That's when you look at these types of condos. You know, it's just, I don't know. Okay, this one is a bit different. I like it's got that part of it that's different there. And, you know, it looks like a C that's backwards. Okay, hey, Mr. Cunningham. Hey, Richie. Hey. That was the whole era of cool, man. You younger guys, man, unless you're really old school, you don't recognize that, man. The era of Mustangs and 57 Chevys and Camaro and Fonzie and frickin' him hitting jukeboxes, and that was an awesome era. And these kids, man, you'll never understand that if you guys are really young. And if you do, you get it. It's because you are old school. You know, you're an old soul, as I've been called, and you're not tripping out on scions. Teslas. I gotta get down here somewhere. Gotta get down like James Brown. Ow! You dare me to do it? Living in America. It's okay, it's okay. I'm not professional. I scared the people in front of me. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Just being me, just being human, just being free, right? Imagine if you did that in Cuba. It'd be like, what the fuck? It's like, what's your name? Where do you live? What do you do for a living? Come with us. You're under arrest. I'm gonna leave these nice people at peace. Go down some stairs here. Tension to tension, living in America. Me was wearing my friend's channel shirt, my good friend Scott with his 60 Plymouth Fury on the t-shirt that he restored himself, by the way, which was a complete shitbox sitting in the fields, completely rusted like you would believe. I always love, by the way, I'm gonna stop here a second, point out how they left some of the tracks here. This is the old Viger train station. It belonged for many years to Canadian Pacific there. And maybe I'll just end this video when I get to the point that I need to go, you know, the part I'm telling you about, the place where people can do their thing and there's no hassle or have to pay for that like in New York and all that. This is really well done. I love this. This is, to me, not pissing taxpayer money away on frivolous crap like bike paths and whatever. It's just, this is like, again, this is how it was, and it's like an emulation of it, but even better. Look, even that part where that root is coming out from underneath there, they're like, you know what, I'll continue, let's just do it, get it done, baby. We pay up the ass in taxes. I want to be impressed. Like today when I walked out of my place, I walk on Ontario Street and I'm like, oh geez, you know, they have to close the street, and I'm trying to accept it. And I'm like, yeah, it's, you know, it's decent, it's nice to walk down the street and there's no cars and noise and there's a lot of people everywhere. You can watch people, but it is a pain in the ass also for other reasons for a lot of people. But on the other hand, there was some cover band or whatever in a tent near this grocery store that's overpriced near my place, and they were playing I think they were playing Yellow by Coldplay or something like that. What's that other song you did, Clocks, something like that. Anyway, I was like really impressed. I was like, holy cow. Imagine, just a few blocks from my place, and I recorded part of that. I made a short out of it. It's definitely worth recording. I live in America. No, I should say I live in Canada, the great white north with poutine and beavers and a lot of snow. And the people will say, hey, and there's the police over there, Montreal's finest. And we're almost at the place I'm going to be, and then am I going to continue the video or not? I don't know. It gets kind of annoying holding this for a while, you know. I think even if I had the stick that went with it, actually I do have the stick that goes underneath the stick, but I'm like, whatever, I'd still get annoyed because I get easily annoyed. That's how I am, that's how I roll. It's just in the genetics. Oh, there's some wetness over here. Whoa, we don't want to get the, oh wait, the camera's waterproof, it's true. Okay, well let's do that then. You know, I don't have time, just right on. Okay, look there. Oh, she's like a rainbow. There we go. There you go. Actually, even though this thing I could submerge, it is waterproof, I'm like, I don't I don't know, I don't feel like tempting fate. We're talking about an amazing camera made for any kind of movement action, but the thing is, the bottom line is that it's I mean, a lot of times you turn it off and it just turns itself back on. Train out here, or is that somebody's brakes? Look at all the jamming over here, crazy people right now. I gotta cross over there actually and find that place I was telling you about. Well, I finally got to drain the vein, and if you're insulted by that, you're definitely not of my age or older, because who gives a shit, but you're probably a snowflake, so whatever. I was hoping to be a water fountain here, but obviously the city of Montreal is more concerned with making money from what you see here. So anyway, we'll go back. Oh, by the way, the Johnny on the spot over there, the mobile toilet, let's just say that was one of the worst things I ever seen in my life. Worse than what I saw last year in Parc La Fontaine. So this is what I was talking about there, the Yacht Rich People's Club there. The really good life. Can't imagine who some of these people who own these boats are, frankly. CEOs, politicians, architects, lawyers, doctors, Shit, even Hollywood actors or producers even. Jeez, I almost lost my balance on this original cobblestone road. I guess you can call it a road. I don't know, but I like how it's original. Not the best to walk on, but... And of course the cars are as colorless as the boats, eh? I wonder how many of those are actually vintage though, right? Because they're boats, they don't exactly rust. So I mean, look at that mother right there. It looks like it could have been the one used in frickin' Donnie Brasco there, the that federal boat there. Anywho, moving along. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm pretty beat right now. I want to take a little break, and then I think we're just gonna move forward north. I'm a little bit tired of going west. That's all I've been doing, is just going west. So I'm gonna take a break here somewhere near here. The what you see all here is the Marché Beausecours. I'm assuming people are being clipped on their way out of here. When I mean clipped, I don't mean getting killed like in the movies, right? This car conforming there. Maybe I'm kidding, maybe I'm not. I know these guys, man. Not like the guys who own the cars that are on my t-shirt here. These types of cars, they're pretty unassuming. You know, they got a lot of power, but they don't really show it. So different time, really. And it was right, actually, this car on the t-shirt, this 60 Plymouth Fury, this was really when the horsepower wars were beginning, actually. Big sedans, cars that I'm getting now, 300, 350 horsepower, Imperials, Cadillacs. And it's a golden age, never coming back. It was unsuspecting. Arguably the first muscle car ever made was the 1964 Pontiac GTO. And you know what's funny, as I was taking a squirt, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should actually bring one of my big paintings one day, you know, like my commuter train or the Montreal New Look, and just walk around with it, man. Hey, it's not poor people from the States coming right now here, you know what I mean? All these people got dough one way or another, so I'm not stupid, you know? Even though, and again, just like bring one painting, because, you know, you're not allowed to sell on the streets. So if ever would have any John Q laws ask me about that, I'd say, no, I'm just showing it around, gathering some interest. I know I'm not allowed, you know, I don't have a permit. Look at all these colorless cars, the whole fucking lot of them. It's just baffling. Oh wow, I'm excited because there's a blue whatever the hell over there. The guy behind me is laughing. He knows why I'm laughing. I know I talk about shit that makes sense, for crying out loud. You know? I'm from a better time. Shit, my parents are from a better time than that. But what is it I heard recently, actually? Speaking of which, somebody once said somewhere, they said something about like if you're living in the past all the time, then you can't like live in the future or something. I don't know, it made sense. I was like, yeah, I gotta keep changing me. I'm just a work in progress, you know. Look at that VW there. That's a beautiful blue. I've probably seen this car before. That is sharp, and I think that might be the original color, actually. And I love the Durango behind it, but it's just a typical colorless car. It's black like the rest of them. Fuck, I mean, how many black Escalades can you see, and Suburbans and Explorers, and the list goes on and on. I'm gonna stop here a moment. Definitely all fun and games over here, eh? That's for sure. A lot more interesting than what's behind me with these mostly colorless, boring, cheap, modern cars. Like, I mean, how many Audis, Mercedes can you see, seriously, and Honda Civics? Jesus Murphy. Maybe I'll just float along here a little bit and arr, matey, walk the plank, matey. You know what, actually, let's just go like that. There's not many bikes here, so. Oh man, you know what, I think I had a premonition earlier. I was at Notre-Dame, busy Notre-Dame and Delormier, and something told me to get my camera ready, looking at Notre-Dame at the curve, looking west. And what goes by me, I almost blew it. I didn't catch the front of it, the whole thing, but I got just the side and the rear. Freaking 61 Cadillac convertible, coral metallic. Could have been an Eldorado, I don't know. You know, just dude, are you going fast enough with your... Oh, there are two of you with this huge shopping bags in front of you. Why have we become so critical over this time and age? Why do we become so much older and critical? Why does it freaking matter? Oh, there's the what used to be the 715. I think it's the 150 that runs here. These buses this time of year, like right now, I just checked the weather, it's 26 degrees Celsius. Like, they're great if the AC is working, but if the AC isn't working, which is a lot of times, They're a pain in the ass. That's a nice looking truck, actually. Let's get a shot of that. Even though it's black. It's still old. It's a 4x4. What is that? The Duramax or something? So, yeah. I'm gonna sound like my brother now. What was I talking about? Excuse me, sorry. There's music playing. That could interfere with the whole scheme of things, trying to make a few pesos from this crap. Well, that was certainly exciting, boys and girls. I was chilling a few minutes there at a picnic table, and I hear this emergency vehicle coming, and as I suspected by the electronic federal siren, it's one of these guys over there. I don't know if you can see it. It's a fire department rescue unit. It's a Ford F-350, F-550, and yeah, and then there was the first one showed up there, and then the second one. These guys all are geared together for hopefully saving somebody from drowning or whatnot, you know. And then of course after that, I thought to myself, when I heard the second one, I was like, oh man, I was like, let it be that this ex-Montreal Fire Department cab over a Freightliner, I'm pretty sure a 92, they basically gave it another life as a police diving unit, and it's they repainted those colors and everything. It's really something. But I'm really pooped right now. I need to sit a lot more in a few minutes to recoup, so I don't know if I make this video longer, or I don't know how much longer really. So any of you guys, you know me, I'm not a big fan of crowds. I'm already tired of being here. It's like fun for a while, but there's too many people here. I don't like it. So I'm gonna keep moving west here until I come in, and I'm gonna go sit my ass down in an area where it's a little more quiet. Hey, I like the color on that whatever it is there with that Harley that just rolled up. Like I said, there's no, look at that, like I said, there's no lack of people there. Hey, Kim Jong-un, that's him. I look like him. He looked like the leader of North Korea. What's this guy rocking here? Anywho, there's the rescue unit I was telling you about that was responding there. The second one, I mean. This one's probably, let me see. Oh, from Station 15. That's in Point St. Charles. That's definitely close to here. Love our historic buildings. Even though I've been to Quebec City, and frankly, Old Montreal is like a tiny size of what the old Quebec City like this is. It's just absolutely streets and streets and streets of old buildings, all old. It's amazing. There's too many people here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there. Across here. It'd be nice to see a couple of oldies, but all I seen was when I was filmed that second fire truck responding. Here we go. Was a 90s Trans Am. I gave the guy a thumbs up. I told him. I said it's nice. I told him. I said it's very nice. Hey, look at this, eh? I love how you have that old ghost lettering still there. It wasn't painted over. You know what I mean? Anywho. Okay, from a nice needed break, and unfortunately there's hardly any breeze here compared to walking all the way here from my place. There's a coach I just filmed driving by, and the name of it is McCoy, which is funny. McCoy. My name is McFall. Not McPhail, but McPhail exists actually. So I'm gonna go a little further. I'm gonna walk to Saint Laurent, and then I think I'm gonna go to McDick's, get some water and ice cream, just because the ice cream is cheap. Cheap! See that? Look, there's two buildings with writing like that. To have a time machine, eh? Going back 60, 70s years, as horses and buggies all over the place, and horses drawing buggies to sell goods at the market. All the trucks. You know what I mean? Come on, let's see something vintage, something actually classic. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. Fuck, muscle car, antique, Japanese, something different from all these fucking boring, colorless cars. That's next. This is what I don't even want to know. What there's no future for the automobile. I'll tell you right now. This is the worst time in history, I think, for cars. This hate and disdain that people have, like myself, for EVs, and then the hate and disdain people have for the internal combustion engine, even though it's a proven technology. I never realized until now there were so many of these buildings together that still have all their original ghost ads, their lettering for their businesses. I never noticed there were that many. Like I said, that could have been painted over. Of course, a lot of French people from France bought buildings here and restored them and moved here, and so and there's a bunch of smoke coming off that building over there. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Is that normal? Is there a restaurant in there? Maybe it's like the old restaurants that was on Rachel. What was it called again? The Portuguese chicken. You could see the smoke billowing all the way to Saint Laurent. Ramados, that's what it was called. Ramados. Yeah. Oh man, that was some of the best pork and cheese chicken you could have, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Hey, look at that. There's a flat nose. Bluebird flat nose. The one they made to try to look like a elephant. What do we got here, eh? Is this all that's left? Is motorcycles that look the part, like they've always looked badass and kept with it because it works. You know that even that's the sound of the motor of a Harley Davidson, even that is trademarked. That means Honda, Yamaha, whatever. They can make their bikes look like Harleys, which basically is what the story is. But look at that. Look, the traffic continues even going here onto Rue Saint Laurent, for crying out loud. Holy tamale, Batman. Holy tamale. Colorless, 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 colorless as the buildings. Hey? Yeah, man. How you doing? There was a girl walked by me before. For sure she was a prostitute. There's no question. A low-cut dress, the high heel shirt, the whole thing. She totally looked like a whore. And it's funny because you don't see them in my area anymore. So I don't know. Maybe the city got too many complaints from people in the area, you know, fed up with that shit. So turning tricks. I want to show you something. If you're not familiar with this part of town, which right now is overrun by tourists, which of course we need their tax dollars, right? Because the city doesn't gouge its own citizens enough money. And the lady next to me, she's smiling. I hope you're from Montreal. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Okay. Have a good night then. We'll hope for Logic to come back one day, but que voulez-vous? What are you gonna do? I love when people are laughing when they hear me talk or oh, he's dropping. That's right. I'm a funny guy, funny looking. It goes hand in hand. That's just the way I am. I wanted to show you this indentation of a building that used to be here. God knows when they knocked that down there. You can tell it must have been a really, really, really long time ago, because that means that Saint Laurent would have like ended probably like right here. It would have been like just a narrow road, like some of the side streets there, and then the Plateau Mont Royal. And unfortunately, it's come to a point. Every time I see a Durango, that Dodge Durango, I'm jealous whoever owns it, because if I was driving a modern vehicle, that would be it. So now we're just gonna long say goodnight there, freaking long say goodbye while I walk up the street here, the beginning and end of Rue Saint Laurent, and go to get myself some water and freaking ice cream at the McDick's, because it's cheap and I'm cheap. You know, I have to say business is going well. By the way, like I said, if you want me to paint something for you, 9x12, starting price 100 bucks. 9x12. The music's throwing me off as it always does. Love music, can't live without it. And 115 shipping included. That's $100 US dollars. And then they got 165 US dollars for a 12x16. And so there you go, guys. And this is, of course, this is the tourist trap right here. This is Rue Saint Paul Street. All right. Bars and souvenir shops, baby. Yeah. Of course, I kept thinking, because I got a lot of American fans, I thought to myself, it'd be cool to meet one of my fans. It would be apropos being in a part of the city, one of the parts of the cities I love the most there, you know? Yeah, all right. How you doing? All right. Love that old sign. So I got these new shoes a couple weeks ago, and they look good, but they're not comfortable like my old ones. I had to pop another $25 to get appropriate Dr. Scholl's insoles, because I walk so goddamn much. They're basically like soles, you know, if you're like you do a lot of sport. But for me, I walk so much, it is a sport. I always actually find it funny, to be honest. I see more people jogging than ever. It's like, what the hell do I need to jog for? I walk every day, minimum 20 minutes, minimum half hour or an hour or more. I'm in top shape. Same thing with my friend Grant. Ming, what are y'all running for? Hey, Ming. Oh, hey. That's right, another patient rich person, of course. Of course. I said it. It's too late. I said it. If you're rich, well, too bad. What can I tell you? I'm not gonna fucking stay quiet. This is a free country, man. All right. I said it before in this video. Okay. Thank God we don't live in Pinko, China, and Russia, and Cuba, and all these places where people are dying to come here, so they're free, for Christ's sake, and say whatever they want in an unbiased way, even if you don't agree with me. That's democracy. That's freedom. It's not just being able to work a job and you're paid well for it, or you're rewarded well for it, and bonuses and pension and all that, but also it's have the correct type of a schedule. You're not overworked, you have appropriate breaks, and you don't have a boss breathing down your neck all the time. This is what I imagine. That's what most people in the world, they dream of. So when Amazon bailed out of Quebec last year, I was like, you know what, like everybody else, fuck you, you assholes. You know, you don't make enough freaking they don't make enough money. And the fact of the matter is, 4,000 jobs, sit there, it's a free world, my friend. Free world. This guy's telling me to go do my business elsewhere. You know, you don't like it, you can go out of the city, you know. Whatever, jerk off. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. You think there's enough traffic here?